Greetings, everyone. It is 2/3 of the Brain Scratch crew here to talk about our first impressions of Sonic Colors.
And they are good impressions, mind you.
It's the reason as to why Lewis isn't here. If you've been watching the announcements, his computer died.
Blue screen. It's a bitch. But that's all I can say. I mean,
there goes our Sonic 06 playthrough.
Yeah. Oh. It's like, what tragedy. Well, you know, I think he's working really hard on it now. I think it's like one of his main priorities is to replace that damn thing.
Yeah.
Blue screen.
Anyway, back to Sonic Colors. Yeah, we're not here to moan about Lewis's computer problems, as constant as they might be.
Yes, Sonic Colors, or Colors with a U if you're in Europe.
Or Canada.
Or Canada?
Apparently they spelled it with a U in Canada.
Right.
Well, my friend lives in Quebec, so...
Oh, okay.
That's probably why.
Alright. Well, yeah, so got the game yesterday. It's already beaten. Heading down the red rings.
Got it Tuesday morning. I got it all done. I beat it, got all 180 red rings, got Supersonic.
Jesus Christ. I got about like 110 red rings, and
the
just
one time in your entire life you will want to get the red rings.
Yeah, seriously. I'm so glad that the red rings are not actually mandatory for the stage progression, which is one thing I hate about Unleashed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like them in general, but could have been worse, much worse.
No, but I'm just glad that they're at least optional.
Yeah.
You know, because Supersonic is a completely optional thing to get. It's completely bragging rights. You know, there's no final boss in the game, and you know, it's just something to show off.
There's no super secret level you get after getting Supersonic. It's just collect 50 rings and destroy everything.
Boost to win.
Boost to win, and standing still gives you points.
Yeah.
Easiest way to get S rank. It's like get to the end of the stage, stand in front of the goal ring, wait for Supersonic to run out, and by that point you should have an S rank.
Yeah, because you're awarded a point bonus for like every 2 seconds you're still
2,000 points every second.
Oh my god. No, unfortunately I haven't gotten to that point yet, but
you're still
from what I hear,
Starlight Carnival.
Yeah, I'm still clearing out Starlight Carnival. It is okay, but moving at like 300 miles per hour, it's like you know that one episode of Pokemon that was banned from children given seizures? Porygon, the flashing screen. It's kind of like that.
Yeah, the backgrounds are a bit busy in this game.
Yeah, well...
That's my only complaint visually, that the backgrounds are a bit too busy.
I don't so much... Oh, well, I think...
in certain levels, it's not a problem, like Planet Wisp or Tropical Jungle. But the ones like Starlight Highway or the Aquatic one are just so busy.
No, I didn't find Starlight... I didn't find Aquarium Park to be that busy, to be honest. It was Starlight Carnival, to me, that was really the most busiest. But other than that, though, like, for a Wii game, the game looks pretty freaking fantastic. It
looks amazing.
It does look amazing. There are still a few little graphical nuances that you know kind of categorize it as a Wii game, but overall,
Sonic's mouth.
Yeah, yeah, it looks like it's drawn on.
Yeah, it probably was.
But overall, like, it's definitely one of the best looking Wii games this year. I wouldn't say of all time yet, because Wii hasn't reached the end of its lifespan yet.
It's not going to get much better.
You're probably right. I think Galaxy 2 is probably the best we'll ever see of the Wii.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Unless Skyward Sword really gets a graphical overhaul before it's released. But...
Oh, yeah, you're right. I actually completely forgot about that. Yeah, we'll find out. Wait, is that next year?
It's Nintendo, so it'll probably be about 3 years.
3 years from now, okay.
For the next system.
Pretty much. I would probably have like in terms of like a particular level that you love the most in terms of its looks.
In terms of looks, I loved Asteroid Coaster.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I think like the opening sections of Twinkle Park.
With the roller coaster hopping at Twinkle Park.
The opening sections of Planet Wisp look marvelous.
I do love I love Aquarium Park's design. With all the water and all the Japanese style buildings.
Conan underwater.
Yeah, I mean it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
If this amusement park wasn't run by Eggman, I'd totally go.
Speaking of Eggman, the writing in this game.
I love the PA announcements.
The PA announcements are absolute gold.
It adds so much character to the game.
Especially it's something I think Dr. Eggman really needed. First off, the entire writing in general is pretty top notch.
It was done by what's that Wii game?
Mad World.
Mad World, yeah.
The writers of that game. I never played Mad World, but
it had great writing. If only but they didn't write enough, so it got a bit repetitive.
Yeah.
But it was great writing. So
there were a few jokes that made me cringe a bit, but
it's Saturday morning stuff.
Yeah, it has a complete Saturday morning cartoon feel to it. But there are also there are a lot of jokes in there that it made me crack up.
Maybe we should make like Eggman's hairline and recede.
Say me and you make like Eggman's hairline and recede. So to this day, that is probably my favorite Sonic line ever, unless I can think of anything else. I'm talking about a Sonic line that's not remembered for how bad it is, how good it is.
And then there's that one robot with his voice chip problems, which I'm convinced is an slap in the face at how all the voice acting shit's gone the last couple of years.
I never made that parallel.
I am convinced that's what it is.
Holy shit! The more I think about it, I'm thinking about it now, and you're absolutely right. Although to be honest, though, Cubot's original voice was incredibly ear grating.
Well, I think that's why it's a slap in the face.
I know that's probably the point.
Let's see. He goes from Texan to pirate to New Yorker to most annoying thing you've ever heard.
Iron on coffee.
Yeah. Speaking of the two robots, we might as well have Scratch and Grounder back.
Scratch and Grounder, or the Deco and Boko from Sonic X.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the equivalent of those two, although I don't think as annoying as Scratch and Grounder. These guys are a little more sensible. But well,
Orbot is anyway.
Yeah. I'm sorry. One half of that is sensible.
And Sonic and Tails are actually written properly for once.
Yeah, you know what? Like, I actually got
probably the best they've been in any game.
Yeah, because in terms of like the actual what the writing did for the relationship between the two characters, I actually got a best friend vibe going on between the two. It's like, yeah, these guys have been friends for years. They're really showing. They're not afraid to take pot shots at each other, and they make fun of each other with the.
Were you talking to the giant robot Sonic?
Are you talking to the giant robot that can't hear you?
Pay up, Tails. I told you there was an evil scheme, but we didn't bet. Dang.
Dang.
Slowly walks off to fight the boss.
Pretty much. Yeah. Again, like the writing in this game was pretty damn good. The plot itself is pretty damn simplistic.
It's a Sonic game. So.
It's a classic Sonic game plot in 3D, pretty much.
Basically, Eggman's capturing animals, in this case aliens. Go save them.
Yeah, that's it. It's pretty much it. Like, there's not...
the animal capsules are back at the end of certain levels.
Yeah. Well, I never actually understood why there were only animal capsules on a few certain levels, and it's just gold rings at the end of the rest of them.
Yeah.
But, alright, the story aside, writing aside, was that definitely one of the better plots in recent Sonic memory.
Or at least it's Adventure 2, to be honest.
Yeah. Although, to be honest, I think Adventure 2 is when it started caving in. That's when I started to get the taking itself too seriously vibes.
Well, in Adventure 2, it worked because that's what the story was, but...
Yeah. Then... It's fine, though, because, you know, you don't have to go too much of a tangent here. It's like with Adventure 2, they were experimenting with some kind of a darker story, and it's like they were unsure of themselves, so they went to a lighter story with Sonic Heroes, and then just turned up the darkness to 11 when Shadow the Hedgehog. You know, it always felt schizophrenic to me. But, you know, Colors is lighter than any other Sonic game. It's lighter than Heroes. I didn't think that was possible.
But it works.
Yeah. But, well, that's about the story. Gameplay-wise, this is what I've always said constantly since I reviewed Unleashed. This is what I think Unleashed should have been from the start.
Well, this is one thing I've been saying basically ever since Adventure 2, is that stick with the character model, stick with an engine, and instead of changing every fucking game, find what worked with that engine and make it better.
Yeah.
Which is something they really hadn't done since Adventure 1 and 2, which I know Adventure 2 is technically on a different engine, but it's doing the exact same stuff in the exact same way.
Pretty much.
So.
Yeah.
But I believe it's running on Unleashed's engine, right?
No, it's not, it's running on physics. That's physics with an X at the end, by the way. Because poor literacy is poop.
Cool. Well, it doesn't. Well, to be honest, it doesn't feel any different from Unleashed's engine.
No, it doesn't. Which is you know, which just also makes me question why Unleashed for the Wii felt so differently. You know, you can emulate the HD games pretty spot on from what I can tell and feel. So why did the engine feel so different for Unleashed for the Wii?
I think it was
compared to the HD
probably
games
because it was built up differently.
Yeah, you're probably right. Because actually, one of the few things I keep everyone keeps saying is that if you're so used to Unleashed on the Wii, you better get used to the whole different control scheme because it plays pretty much like it does on HD Unleashed.
Yeah, it does. So what control scheme do you use?
GameCube.
I'm using the Wii Remote Nunchuck.
No,
it controls just fine.
From what I've heard, Classic Controller and Nunchuck are just fine. Wiimote, I hear, is absolute ass.
Wiimote alone?
Yeah.
I haven't tried that, but I've been using Wiimote Nunchuck, and it controls just fine.
I don't know. You know,
I mean, it took a little bit to get used to the different button layout, but it controls just fine.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it just goes down to whether or not I want to control a 3D character using a D-pad.
Oh, why would you ever do that? Metroid.
I don't know. Even though a majority of Sonic Colors is this 2D, there's just something about it that it just you know, it turns me off about it. But yeah, the moment I turned the game on, the GameCube controller was all the way. It's amazing how a system released in 2001 still has the most preferable controller preference.
I had my GameCube controller plugged in, but it's recognized my Wiimote Nunchuck.
Yeah.
Straight on, so I ended up playing as that first, and I just got used to it.
Yeah,
I plugged in the GameCube just out of curiosity, and to be honest, the responsiveness of the controls isn't any different.
No, for what I can tell, it's really all a matter of preference. Though well, first off, I think the GameCube controller is one of the best design controllers ever made. Mm-hmm. In terms of the games
comfortably in your hands.
And that's, to me, that's the most important part of it, is the comfortability. And, you know, damn it, 9 years later, I'm still using that damn thing.
Yep.
Even though, and Nintendo recognizes that, which is why I'm thankful that they gave us this option to use the controller. But yeah, I haven't really experimented with the Wiimote, the Wiimote Nunchuck, and the classic controller.
Try playing with the Wiimote Nunchuck and see how you feel.
Yeah, I'll probably give that a shot later on. But you know, it's funny, but the control actually didn't take me too long to get used to, even though I haven't played Unleashed in like about 6 months.
Yeah, about that for me.
Yeah. There are a few things that in terms of the control, I really don't have much to complain about. There was only one thing that took me a long time to get used to. Actually, was Sonic's jump. Because
he actually has a double jump.
Yeah, he actually has a double jump, which I guess was in response to
pitfalls and non-accurate platforming.
Pitfalls and how inaccurate the platforming was in Unleashed.